Their attacks had already started to sink, but now it was on a whole new level, and this level had proven itself worthy of a stronger opponent. Not even the enhanced power of Goku's Super Saiyan Blue was enough to handle Kefla now. A green light appeared. What Goku thought had been a double knockout was about to turn into his worst nightmare. Up to this point, fighting Kale and Caulifla had been the best thing for him. His power was coming back. His stamina was increasing. The excitement of battle was pushing him to subscribe, but he knew it was risky. He could feel the infinite amount of potential that these two Saiyan girls had, and he knew that they could go even further. They were learning at a ridiculous speed. They had already learned to turn their notifications on quicker than the movement of his Ultra Instinct, but what he didn't know was that they were hiding a secret. The way they led up to the fusion was brilliant. They kept you waiting and watching till the end of the best part, just like the anifam listens to the stories of their favorite animes until the very end. They gave so much detail about each girl as an individual, and by doing this, they were trying to tell you something. It was important for you to see the similarities and differences between these two girls. You had a very vibrant, outgoing girl fusing with a girl who was always so jealous and depressed. It just didn't feel right. The creators knew that they had to make changes, so here's what they did. There were various moments showing that these girls were more alike than you might have thought. They were changing the girls to act as one. But did you notice the biggest change of all? Kale went berserk again, but this time it was different. Goku literally shook as he watched her transformation. Tien pointed out the massive increase in her energy, and just slightly, the surge of her power was even enough to break Jiren's meditation. The excitement of battle boiled in Caulifla's body. At the sight of Kale's strength and energy increasing, she declared that together, they would be the strongest of all universes. Did she really believe that they would grow strong enough to beat Jiren? But Kale was actually confident in this idea as well. From that point on, she said they would always fight together. The foreshadowing of their fusion had begun. With their energy flickering in complete sync, it was as if they shared the same mind. Without words, they planned out attacks that completely took Goku by surprise. It seemed his weakened body wouldn't be able to handle the two of them after all. But he had something shocking hidden himself. Behind an orb of light, Goku transformed his body to Super Saiyan God. The people in the stands were stunned. Was he really recovering this quickly? But there were two people who weren't fazed at all. As Caulifla assessed the situation before her, Kale made a shocking statement. It seemed she had gained control of more than just her terrifying power. Who cares if Goku's hair is red or blue? Either way, all she could say was, "Let's beat him up." Her confidence had taken an extremely huge turn. They were making her personality closer to Caulifla's and closing the gap between their differences. Goku now had two strong-willed women ready to take him down. However, this didn't last long before the creators turned and went the opposite way. But if they were trying to get you used to seeing them as one person, then why would they do something like this? Think about it. There's a reason fusion is such a powerful technique, and it's deeper than you know. Turns out their differences are just as important as their similarities. Ask yourself, how is it possible to multiply a power level through fusion? Well, aren't you also fusing each person's different abilities? Or better yet, their separate strengths? Now you understand why fusion is so ridiculously strong. So how can even Goku stand up to something like this? He gave the girls a taste of their own medicine. They sent a beam of energy to hit him from both sides, but he was one step ahead. A huge blast broke through and headed straight for them. Just by her muscular appearance, it's clear that Kale's physically stronger than Caulifla, which is why the two girls reacted to Goku's attack much differently. Kale decided to take it head on. She struggled for a while, but she managed to toss it out of her face. But then there was Caulifla, and she ran for it. Unfortunately for her, she wasn't fast enough. The energy blast struck her. Goku's power in this form could be considered equal to that of the gods, and Caulifla's body wasn't strong enough to handle that. As she fell to the ground, Kale realized it was time to return the favor. She jumped up and broke Caulifla's fall. Goku complimented them. They were a pretty hard team to deal with besides their endgame. How arrogant of him to believe this fight was over. Kale's rage started to increase, but was quickly broken. Caulifla weakly stood up, trying to convince herself that she could go on, but her news gave her the disappointing truth as they buckled, causing her to fall again. Pathetically laying on the ground, she remembered the item. The girls pulled out an earring, but Goku's Kamehameha wave wasn't giving them much time. The stage crumbled beneath their feet, and as the gravity of their fall into the void weighed down on their bodies, the girls panicked to get the earring on. How would they make it in time? The rock the girls had been standing on was destroyed, and a shockwave was left behind. A single girl rose to her feet. From a distance, Goku thought it was Kale. Had she saved only herself? Especially in her weakened state, Caulifla had become the weaker of the two by far, which is why this fusion resembled Kale the most. Her name was now Kefla, and she was ready to do what they couldn't do before, beat Goku into the ground. Kefla's first appearance made the benefits of potara fusion very clear. Her speed was beyond anything Goku had imagined. She flew past him in less than a blink of an eye. Unfamiliar with his newfound power, she stumbled. This triggered in Goku the memory of the day he first became Super Saiyan God. He had such an increase in power that he could barely control his movements, which made him wonder, just how much power had this girl gained? Even she didn't know how fast she had become. Goku saw an opening, but she knocked his blast away one-handed. The same power that had almost crushed Caulifla, she now considered to be lame. And that's when Goku noticed something terrifying. Kefla was only in her base form. What a transformation that he had just witnessed. Their attacks had already started to sink, but now it was on a whole new level, and this level had proven itself worthy of a stronger opponent. Not even the enhanced power of Goku's Super Saiyan Blue was enough to handle Kefla now, and for this reason, Goku would have to push harder. He was gonna have to fight her with Kaioken. This girl's strength is going out of control, but if you look deeper, you'll see something else. She's not the only one getting stronger, with his multiple forms already looking very different from each other. Goku's transformations are obvious, but there was a problem in the last episode that I'm sure you noticed as well. The power scale just seemed, well, terrible. But no mistake had been made. They did this all on purpose, and those reasons reveal the truth. But at the end of the preview, something strange happened just before the screen turned black, and it connects to something else. Something that at first seemed like a mistake in animation during the last episode, but now it feels more like a hint.